Hello, everyone. This is your host of the Snowdcast, Blackjet56, joined by his second in command, Diamond Assassin. And we have not necessarily sad news, but some concerning news. So, Lewis, I'll let you break the ice
Yeah.
because I'm an asshole.
Yeah. So I've been talking with Black Shad, and we are going to take an hiatus to kind of figure out new changes for the channel in itself, not just the channel for the podcast, but also just the podcast in itself. So any changes that are happening will only be on YouTube. Nothing will be affected that's on Spotify. Spotify will be the full YouTube or the full length of the podcast in itself.
Mhm.
YouTube will be just a little bit more shorter, just to cut in two parts, just to kind of be more consistent with what's going on with the news, like whether that's
Mhm.
video games, movie, TV show news, just to kind of stay ahead of everything and just to kind of also see, I mean, how well we can do it for a while. I mean,
Mhm.
this is kind of like a little test and to see if it works. And it'll make it a lot easier for everybody scheduling. I know Blackshot, he got a new job, and everybody else is also working. And as you can see, from months have passed in this channel, that it's been hard to stay consistent with the content and with the podcast in itself. And we're trying to make these changes to hopefully get us a lot more efficient and make it a lot more easier on everybody. So that way it's not as stressful or as demanding as it is with everybody's busy schedules. I know right now I'm the only one in the group that's still yet to get a job. I'm working on that. That's not, that's not always going to be a solution for us for a while. But at the meantime, while I am without a job for right now, I will do my best to try to make these changes work out best as possible. We are all human. I am going to promise that we are going to try to stay consistent. I can't make any promises of staying consistent as much as what I can do, my abilities, and also what Christian can do whenever he's working. And if he has the time to edit or be a part of the podcast himself, I will try to man the ship as best as possible um, with the new changes.
Mhm.
Ty's Gaming Corner will not be touched whatsoever. It's not going to be affected. So if you love
It'll
Ty's
stay
Gaming
about the
Corner,
same consistency as it
stay
has been.
consistency.
Yeah.
No changes there,
So,
but
fifty-fifty
just
shot on whether or not you're going to get one.
yeah, that depends on Ty in itself. But
Which he does want to work on consistency for. I will
yeah,
speak for him on that end. And of course, you can still check out his channel. The name may have changed, but it should still be the same link. So there is that. And yeah, as far as consistency for TGC, that should be fine. Should stay about the same, which is 50-50. Which, like I said, he does want to get more consistent about it, but yet to be seen. As
yeah,
far as that goes, and part of that's also miscommunication on our end, which is fine. We're going to work on that. Like, that's why another reason why we're taking the hiatus is we're going to work on everybody's scheduling, and we're going to basically have our topics set up. The way we're thinking about doing it is we're going to still have, like, the first episode of the week is going to be the now showing, the uh, Ty's Gaming Corner if there is one, and then two or three topics out of the six that we usually do.
yeah.
And then, of course, the second episode will be the 50-50 on whether or not those topics are actually going to go through, because constant movie or video game news. So that is kind of the thought process. Is the second episode is an opportunity to switch everything up,
Yeah.
and it will usually be dropping. So let's say we record the first episode of the week on a Monday. We're going to try and upload it. If not that night, which is unlikely, we'll probably post it
Mhm.
the next day, around the typical time, like probably around noonish, for everybody to, kind of have an idea of what we're looking for. And we're going to try to keep that to about 30 to 40 minutes. Same thing with the actual, like, with the second part of the episode, we're going to keep it to 30 to 40 minutes. And that way, we do split up the whole thing. And like he said, it'll be going to Spotify as a full episode on the normal schedule, which was 7 o'clock CST. And it will be the full episode, regardless of change in host or anything along those
Yeah.
lines. So it will be edited as such.
And the change is just to kind of test and see if
If we can keep a
people
consistent thing.
keep it consistent, but also I think it'll be a good change for people who don't have time to listen to the whole entire podcast. If you're a person who wants something quick and something easy to watch,
This will
that's
be easier.
yeah,
We're
and
also
it'll
going to be
be
working on
stacked a lot
YouTube
more.
Shorts as well during the hiatus. I know Lewis is hard at work at that.
Yeah,
We're going to try and get more snow reels. And of course, if there is a topic that we ultimately don't get by the time that we record that second episode of the week, that's where snow reels will come in. We
yeah,
will typically try to post it the following Wednesday, whether or not we record it that week or not. That is my plan at least, is to try and keep the at least if we. So if you see a snow reel, that usually means it was probably a topic we didn't get to last week, and we just decided to make it a topic then.
and we will try to also stay on top of topics that we talked about, the trailers, and
Mhm.
whether if not if we've seen it or if we've seen a few clips in here or there once the movie comes out,
Mhm.
and just go back and just kind of do a recollection of all of our thoughts from previous episode, just to kind of get a more better outlook on whether that be the movie in itself coming out, what how many like critics, what the critics think, in a sense
Mhm.
of like if it's doing well or doing not so
So you're
well.
you're talking about like a basically a review of
Yeah, so
whatever's going on, whether it be a
yeah, so
trailer or whether it be
so if
a
yeah, so if it's like
movie.
now showing uh like that'll be out and we'll talk
Mhm.
about it. But if it's something that's like a trailer that comes out and stuff,
We'll give
we'll
our overall thoughts
oh
instead of
thoughts.
keeping it short and concise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you on that end,
And then
and that's a good
once
idea.
the movie comes out, then we'll go back into the topic, so that way we don't keep you like, oh, what happened to y'all just only talked about the the trailer, but y'all didn't continue the discussion on the
Mhm.
movie in itself. So we're gonna try to do that as well, just to kind of make it seem like we actually do care. We really do care. It's just because there's so many different like news, and it's just hard to keep up. So we're gonna just try to stay consistent with the main news that is on that day if we
Mhm.
can. If we don't, we do apologize. It's gonna be
Push comes to
uh
shove, you may or may not just see Lewis alone talking about this topic, which is fine. That's going to be That's going to be on his time, his fruition. It's going to
yeah.
be whatever he wants to talk about, which is fine. The moment he starts sabotaging the channels, the moment that he will no longer cease to exist. Uh,
Honestly, I will, if we miss any content, I will probably turn them into shorts. Just so it's a lot easier for me, and if anybody also wants to pitch in a short, we can. The shorts are like 30 minutes, I think, or 30
30
seconds.
minutes to an
30
hour.
minutes,
Oh,
30.
you talk about shorts?
Yeah,
Yeah,
shorts.
I think the longest short I saw was like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so once we get that ball rolling, I think we should be good
Mhm.
for the moment. We are going to make sure that everybody is on board too, not just with this video announcement. So we will be holding a meeting, an all standby meeting, just to kind of confirm and see if
And we'll
everybody's
we'll do
feeling the
a part
same.
2 to this video after we've had that meeting, after we've when we're thinking about coming back. So, expect another video similar to this next week. But as of right now, we're just kind of we're spitballing ideas. We have an idea of what we want to do, but we're still going to take any other ideas from from our fellow podcast members, whether it be Anara, whether it be um, DJ Lionheart, whether it be Gallows, whether it be Hungry Honey Badger, all those people, whether it be Ty from Ty's Gaming Corner. Um, if anybody has ideas, we're going to try and put it in towards there, or if they like an idea that we have but they want to make it better, then that's fine. So whenever after we've had that meeting, we will give you a part 2 as to when, about the time that we're going to probably start implementing it, and then of course what the updates are, so that way you guys aren't just immediately surprised by how we're doing things.
Yeah.
So
But 100%, I'm gonna try to stay consistent with any news that comes in and out. So I think that will be the better option. Now that I'm thinking about it, is if there's any news that we don't cover, I will try my best to cover it
mhm.
when it comes out on that time, and try to give mostly good source of that information as best as possibly can. And if I need to correct myself with certain information, I will with the next short that comes out. So I will try my best to get every like an ounce of information, whatever I post on the shorts. So
Mhm. So probably expect to see a lot more of him than me from the
yeah.
future, just because of how my new job is. It is a very inconsistent schedule because it is a flexible schedule. And on top of that, right now, I may be possibly going back to doing Uber as well. So that may be affecting on how we do certain things.
yeah.
So I may or may not be. It's like it's a hiatus for the channel, but I may or may not be kind of as well. So I may be kind of doing what Lewis used to do, which was it's mostly going to become the Lewis hosted podcast, which is fine. But I mean, that's the whole reason I put him as my second in command, anyway, so he can take over whatever I need him to.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I mean, it's not really a goodbye for me. It's just I'm gonna go away for a little while.
Yeah.
So I may show up here and there, but don't expect to see a lot of me, which sucks. I know
Yeah, it
for
was
all my
just
Black
it was
Sabbath
the
fans
same
out there.
thing with me and stuff. So
Mhm.
whenever I wasn't here,
Yeah,
it
but
was
nobody gives a
because
shit about you.
hey, shut
nah,
it.
no,
but
it's all good.
and all jokes aside, we're very excited about these changes.
Oh,
We
100%.
hope that it actually makes it a lot easier for everybody.
Mhm.
As many of y'all known from previous episodes, I am focusing on my own channel as well while I'm looking for a job. So it's gonna be a challenge to kind of jumble two things at
Welcome
once.
to hell,
So,
baby. Trust me, I tried to do the exact same shit.
but
Harder than it looks.
yeah, I as soon as we get a good guideline of everything, I
It'll
think
make
I
it easier.
should be. It'll make it a lot easier for me. So
And it won't just be me editing, because that's part of the other reason is I experienced a lot of burnout whenever it comes to that. Hence the reason snow to reels started becoming less and less of a thing, because that it wasn't like it was difficult to edit, but that was also hard to try to consistently keep going.
yeah,
So it just became an issue of scheduling. We need to come up with a clear and concise schedule, and I need to stick to it as well, and just go from there. So that's why I'm only saying you may or may not see a lot of me. It just depends on what all goes down.
for the
So
most
that's
part,
the main
he'll be still involved,
thing.
whether that be thumbnail, title, and everything, and posting it.
Mhm.
In case if I don't get to edit it for some reason,
And we are still
um,
going to be providing clips throughout the week.
I
We
will
do
try
have
my
a new
best.
editor for that. It's not Lewis, don't worry. But we are going to try and get more consistent with clips. That is the main goal. I will still be working on the thumbnails and everything else. For those of you that didn't know that I made the thumbnails for almost everything, uh, hi, welcome to the channel. It's nice to see you. But no, like I mean, seriously, this is my baby, so I'm letting him take care of it for a little while, just because I got to focus on other stuff right now. So
A part of me kind of felt like this was coming only because of the fact of just the time that I felt like I was gone for a while, and I would appear from here, from time to time and stuff.
mhm.
And I think we're just kind of flipping roles now and stuff. So
Yeah, and I mean, I'll come in. I'll probably come in more consistently than you did. It just depends
yeah,
on what all's going down. Whether it be me making a last second appearance on a podcast recording, or
or
you
you
may or
could
may
do
not
a what's it called,
a
a
short. I can
short,
make a short.
and
That's fine.
and then you
Yeah,
can talk about. I mean, you have freedom to talk about whatever you want, like
yeah,
whatever new horror movie comes out,
exactly. Yeah,
free
whether
reign.
whether it
So
be a new trailer, anything else along those
since we
lines.
both have access to the
Absolutely.
shorts on our phones and stuff, so it'll
And
actually make it a lot more consistent. So if
mhm,
we don't, another heads up, like we said, we're gonna try to stay consistent. It may look a little bit different. So let's say if we are not able to upload a podcast, we will have shorts. So
mhm.
at least we will have something on the channel to
We're trying to
have everybody to watch.
keep you as not we're not going for a quantity over quality. We are going to try and still keep quality. So if we got to cut back on the quantity, we will. But we're going to try to get, because we feel like this is not too much quantity as far as quality is concerned, because we are cutting down the podcast. It's
Yeah,
more upload time, but that's really about all it comes down to. And realistically, it'll probably upload just as quick, if not quicker, with it being the shorter runtime. And because
it'll
we're going to be splitting it,
and
uh,
it'll give us less time to like also like if we need to fix something, it's a lot shorter. it'll be a lot easier for us to edit. And if we have to re-record something, can re-record something a lot faster than it was
Yes.
something that would take more like an hour. And so,
Mhm. And we're also going to try and stay more consistent on the topic talking, not necessarily going on as many tangents as we possibly do. Which, if you've been a watcher of the show for a little while, you know that we go on tangents for quite a while. But the main goal of this video is just to inform you that we are going to take a little bit of a hiatus. We're probably aiming for about another week or two. I don't know if you noticed, but we didn't post anything for the last week. Most
there's
likely, it is going to be another week or two.
yeah, from this recording, I reposted a video that was already on the channel, but as a short, which is one of the clips that I've edited from one of the episodes of the podcast. So it's up right now as of this time recording this
Mhm.
video. I should at certain point start making more shorts, whether that be me talking or about something that came out throughout this week. I know I'm gonna try to, as we're trying to figure out in this new transition of a new layout of the podcast in itself on here on YouTube. I will do my best on to try to post as frequent as we can while we're waiting for just everything to fit the way it
Yeah.
needs to fit.
We're not saying expect something every day, but we're at least saying expect at least 2 or 3 things a week. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
So, and let's say it's a slow news week, but we're able to squeeze 3 or 4 topics out, then yeah, we'll go ahead and do one episode for that week. But as far as it comes down to for right now, we're going to take a couple weeks off. So probably expect us maybe midway next week or midway next month. And we'll probably be getting more consistent. Obviously, you can expect some shorts, maybe some snow to reels here or there. But aside from that, as far as like news goes right now, we're going to take a little bit of a hiatus, and we should be coming back and come full swing for the summer for sure.
Yep, that's the plan. So
But aside from that, that's what we got. We just figured, we'd not keep everybody in the dark and be like, well, where is everything? Obviously, as far as like the YouTube side of things, this is all that's changing. As far as Spotify goes, if you want to go back and check any of those old episodes, you can. If you
yeah,
don't have the time to watch it, or you don't have YouTube Premium, but you have Spotify Premium, then boom, there you go. You have a way
yeah,
of watching it ad free. And there's just that kind of element to it as well. It's still the same. It's still the same video as what YouTube is. It's just no video. It's audio. So it's still the entire same audio, intro, outro, everything. Um, so that's ultimately what it comes down to. And of course, you can still expect those if you want to just sit down and watch the full episode. Then you can keep to the same consistent schedule, and you'll be looking at getting that on Spotify instead of on YouTube.
right.
So that's what we're ultimately saying. So if you still want to watch it, then we may or may not probably the week after, like maybe to kind of start off the week. What we can do is if we're already going to have the full episode for Spotify, we may or may not release the full episode the week after. So probably Monday, we would release that full episode, make it a little bit more consistent, and then you could probably expect the next part of the episode, like that week's episode, probably on Tuesday or Wednesday, whichever or. And then same thing Thursday or Friday, and then of course you get the full episode Saturday, that kind of thing. So
Right.
that's probably what you're expecting, and then you can get a snow to reel here or there and there, and of course you should be expecting some shorts, at least 1 or 2 shorts a week. I think that's a pretty consistent schedule.
Hmm.
So, but again, these are just the hypotheticals for right now. That's just me spitballing. We're going to come up with that's why we are taking the 2 weeks. We're going to come up with something concise and make
Something
sure.
solid that we can follow and try to at least do a test run of.
Mhm,
If and if we feel like we need to adjust something, we will.
mhm.
And me and Black Shad will try to stay consistent. If anything changes, all we can do is upload a short real quick and just have a quick update on there, and
Mhm.
that'll be it for that. Just for
Yeah,
the updates and stuff.
absolutely. But you know, just don't go disappearing on us just yet. Obviously, we need to iron some kinks out here,
Hmm.
and we'll get back with you sometime next week, and then probably about a week after that, you can expect a different Snowdecast,
Yep.
but nothing crazy, just a different inconsistency.
Yep.
All right. Well, that being said, I'm Black Chef 56. This
And
is
I'm
Diamond
Diamond
Assassin.
Assassin.
And we are the heads of Snowdecast, and we will see you all around, hopefully in the near future. Have a good
Bye,
one.
guys.